Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Interfaith Council of Sacramento annual Power of One event, where we recognize and honor community leaders and local organizations. We are so glad that you can finally meet in person. Thank you for coming, everybody. My name is Akram Kellie, and I'm the board member of the Interfaith Council of Sacramento. So first, I'd like to introduce our President of the United States. Not United States. Sorry, wrong event. President of the Interfaith Council of Sacramento, Serene Irby. Sorry, wrong event. That was intentional, by the way.
I just got a huge promotion. Before I say my prepared speech, I would like everyone to stand for a moment of reflection and respect. This is to acknowledge the 200 mass shootings our country has experienced so far this year. And specifically, I want to acknowledge the victims of the Buffalo grocery store shooting. They were innocent victims who were just going to their local grocery store to buy food for their family. And someone with hate in his heart and racist thoughts in his mind decided to change that day for everyone. So we mourn the tragic loss of life and injuries, and our deepest sympathies go out to the victims, their families, their friends, the entire Buffalo community, and the United States as a whole. So please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you so much. You can be seated. So I am the president of the Interfaith Council, not of the United States of America. So we last held our Power of One in May 2019. It seems so long ago. It's an annual event truly to recognize community leaders and organizations that do so much great work for our community. I think we can all agree that COVID has taught us a lot. When everything shut down in March of 2020, houses of worship had to shut their doors, learn how to Zoom, and how to live stream on Facebook and YouTube, truly bringing religion into the 21st century. Meanwhile, the nonprofits and community service organizations were drastically affected. Many had to shut their doors totally, creating true hardship for those they served. For others, the true boots on the ground, out in the streets every day, they soldiered on as best they could under public health requirements, social distancing guidelines, sometimes going virtual, and definitely doing smaller outreach. Individually, we've suffered untold losses with fears due to COVID. The isolation that we felt in sheltering in place, the illnesses, and of course, the losses. Many have lost multiple family members to COVID, and our hearts truly break for them. But I wonder what we have learned during these last 2 years. Hopefully, we have learned that the Creator is ever present in our lives to love, inspire, nurture, and sustain us, especially in times of troubles. That we can that our prayers and devotions can be said at any time and anywhere. And even on Zoom, prayers can be inspirational. We've relearned how very small our world is and how we truly are all one people, all children of God. And we've learned how interconnected we all are in so many different ways. And I think we all agree we've gained a greater appreciation for family and friends and relationships. Just being here tonight, seeing each other, meeting new friends, it's so joyous just to be here. Tonight, we are honoring community leaders who, in some cases, have served in their chosen areas of service for decades. Not for fame or glory, not for fortune or power, but to truly, truly make Sacramento a better place to live for everyone. You know, the golden rule isn't all face. It's just rephrased differently. In Christianity, it's do unto others as you would have them do unto you. In my religion, the Baha'i faith, is prefer your neighbor to yourself. I truly believe that each and every honoree tonight lives by the golden rule. So please join the Interfaith Council in celebrating each honoree tonight for all that they do. Thank you.
Thank you, Serene. Before we begin, I'd like to call Father Michael Kiernan to the stage for invocation. Father Michael Kiernan is the pastor at St. Mary's Beale Air Force Base. Father?
God of mercy, gentleness, kindness, and goodness, you are the creator of all the world and all that is in it, all its peoples, whom you created out of love and compassion for their good individually, for all the faiths, and indeed for all society. We ask your blessing upon us all gathered here in this great event this evening. We ask your blessing upon all who will receive the Power of One awards in appreciation of service, caring, and goodness that they have done in our society in various ways. Pray for all who give back to the community in so many ways, as we will see this evening. We ask your blessing upon us all to give us gentle hearts, humble spirit of service, an awareness of the beauty and goodness that are in all people, as Serene said a moment ago, and just help us to make the world a better place, to heal the great challenges and difficulties that we face, to give us an awareness of your love in our lives, and to help us to become more part of the divine day by day, so that we may grow closer to you, O Creator of all that is beautiful and good, and also our brothers and sisters in the human family, so that all may be one in the greatness of God. Amen.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, next I'd like to introduce a board member from SMUD. SMUD is a long-standing sponsor and supporter of Interfaith Council of Sacramento and Power of One event. I would like to call now on Rosanna Herber, Director SMUD Board. Please come to the stage. Thank you, Rosanna.
You know, it's really a great honor to be here tonight to share a little bit with you about SMUD. as board members, we all get the opportunity to pick which events we want to go to speak at. Sometimes you go in front of, the Metro Chamber or, the Business Journal, all kinds of different opportunities. And when I saw this one, so I want to do that one. I wanted to be here tonight because I wanted to thank the wonderful folks out there who lead congregations and who engage with folks to help them learn the truths that I've learned, that we're all one, that we're here to make the world better, that each and every one of us is special and has something to offer. And so I want to thank you for, instilling that in our whole community. And I want you to know that SMUD is your partner in this. SMUD and the SMUD board are dedicated to making the community better. And we do this in a variety of ways. If you're a nonprofit organization and you haven't gone to smud.org and asked for a sponsorship for one of your events, I'm telling you, do it tomorrow. We work to engage with all nonprofits. There's very few organizations that probably don't receive some kind of engagement with SMUD, because SMUD is your public utility. We are you and you are us. And I want to share with you, some of the bigger things that SMUD has done. We fund 36 nonprofits representing an investment of $650,000 through our SHINE grants. And our SHINE grants are grants that SMUD has put together to help communities be stronger. And isn't that what we do? Try to unite to make things better for the rest of our community around us. So if you're a community and you feel like you would benefit from doing a project with SMUD, usually it's infrastructure. Maybe you need solar, maybe you need lighting, maybe you need energy efficiency measures. SMUD is here to help you do that, because that's part of creating community. We also support, the larger community through SMUD Cares, which is a volunteer program where we provide volunteers to work at your events. All you have to do is, again, go to that smud.org website and say, I'm working on this event and I'd like to see if anybody at SMUD would like to volunteer for it. SMUD is your partner, and SMUD is so proud of the work that you're doing to make our community stronger. And all the people who are going to be honored here tonight are tremendous people, are folks who've really made a difference. And I know some of them, which is kind of cool. So with that, I'll say, remember that SMUD is your community partner. I'm your friend on the board. Come to SMUD if we can do anything to support you. We're very proud to be a sponsor for the Power of One.
Thank you, Rosanna. We are privileged this evening to hear from Phil Tilbert, United States Attorney, Eastern Division of California. Phil served as an assistant U.S. Attorney for 18 years. Prior served in the Criminal Division, Department of Justice. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Phil Tilbert.
Thank you, Akram. I really appreciate that warm welcome, and thank you all. I'm really honored to be here today. Thank you to the Interfaith Council and to Carol Lowe in particular for all the work she put together in making tonight a reality. It's a particular honor for me tonight to participate in tonight's program because I understand one of the honorees is Jon Fish, who's a past president of the Interfaith Council. When I started going to community outreach events, Jon was often a speaker or an MC or a host, as Akram often is too. And so to honor him, I think, is just a great decision by this group. He's always struck me as, if you think of someone who would represent peace in a human form, I think of that with Jon. Jon just exudes peace and calm and composure and caring for his fellow man. And I learned a lot about the Sacramento Interfaith community just going to events where Jon spoke and talked about the values that he held, that his colleagues held in the council. And I really learned from that. I also learned from, he's a great storyteller, as you all know, and so he usually had a good story. And I'm not that great a storyteller, but he always seemed to have a story that would bring home his point well and allow you to carry it away for that evening. So anyway, Jon, I'm happy to be here to watch you be honored tonight. What I want to say is that this council and the people associated with it, the work that you do in building community cohesiveness is just critical, particularly today. You don't have to agree with someone, but you need to know how to talk with your neighbor. This idea that our society is a marketplace of ideas, I think, is still a good one, other than when it becomes a marketplace of bad ideas. And when people hunker down and only talk to people who think like them, or they think are like them. The interfaith community in Sacramento has established really a strong record of building community. What I see you doing is promoting things like understanding, acceptance, respect, kindness. Those values are things that I see you working on every day. These are positive values that we all share. You are uniquely situated to help weave the fabric of our various communities together into a larger, peaceful society, because you do run those focal points in our society. Since I became involved in my office's community outreach many years ago, I've really been just repeatedly impressed by the interfaith community's reach in Sacramento, the genuine friendliness and openness, and the dedication that you all have shown to building and maintaining bonds between different religions. As your U.S. attorney and as a member of the community who lives here, I ask that you continue this important work, which benefits all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We will now have the presentation of our Power of One Awards. First, we'll have Gabby Trejo, Executive Director of ACT. And to present this award, I would like to call Jason Wiener on the stage. Jason?
My family immigrated from Mexico, so I arrived to this country when I was 10 years old, and my family has grown. I have 2 beautiful children. They're twin boys that are toddlers. I was raised Catholic and have found a deeper connection to my faith and my identity as a Catholic woman when I started faith-based community organizing with Sacramento ACT. Sacramento ACT stands for Area Congregations Together, and we have been here in Sacramento for 31 years, serving the community and building what we call the beloved community. And the way we do that is by advocating for systems change, justice, and really teaching ordinary people how to self-organize and use collective power to create change. At ACT, we believe that people closest to the pain have the solutions to their problems. And so what that requires of us as a staff is to go out in the community and listen to residents, listen to members of our congregations to see what are the problems that they're seeing and what are some of the solutions that they want to see, and invite them to be architects of change. One story that comes to mind is the story of Gloria. Gloria is a leader from Our Lady of Guadalupe who is undocumented, and when I met her 9 years ago, she told me, Gabby, I don't want to speak in public. Just tell me when I have to hand out flyers, right? And my vision for her was bigger than she can imagine. Eventually, she became involved in our fight for driver's licenses for undocumented immigrants in California. And we won as a state, thank God. But then after we won, she was talking to me and she said, Gabby, I applied for my driver's license. And I realized that I can fill in the bubble to become an organ donor, which I was happy to do. But I am wondering, how come I can be an organ donor, but I cannot get healthcare? And to me, that was such a heartbreaking and very real question. It was a challenge for me as a leader in the community about how do we not just win policies, but how do we continue to have a larger vision for where the community needs us to step into. And I started working with Building Healthy Communities, a local partner. As a collective with the coalition, we were able to bring healthcare coverage for undocumented immigrants in our county. And we're very proud to say that that program continues to exist to date. It is people like Gloria that are really the engine of any movement of social justice and how we think about equity and how do we live into this aspiration to provide a healthier and thriving community in this region where people are both seen and people are invited into a table where their voice is both heard and taken action upon. You know, Pope John II, I believe, has a quote that said, "No one is too poor to give or too rich to receive." And I think that allows us to be able to see how we can help others in whatever way that is. And the ways that we contribute to a better world is by being able to use the God-given gifts and bring them to the table so that we are able to have a collective effort that addresses all the issues that we're seeing. So that's how I would like to see change in the world.
Gabby, can you come up with this? Thank you.
Our next awardee is Liz Igra, creator and president of CVHEN. And to present this award, I'd like to call Jody Cooperman to the stage, please. Jody?
My family tree has been pruned. I am a child Holocaust survivor, and most of my family perished during the Holocaust. Only my mother and my uncle, her younger brother, survived the war from our immediate family. Now, I did make a family. I have 6 children, all happily married. I have 9 grandchildren who are the joy of my life. I survived by crossing the Carpathian Mountains in the middle of winter with my mother. And we had to hide under trees and during the day. And she kept me entertained. And when she entertained me, I made her repeat a story. Apparently, when I was very young, there was a Seder at our house. After the grown-ups left the table, there was a little bit of wine left in each glass. And apparently I drank that. And they literally found me under the table. I made my mother repeat that almost every day because I thought it was hilarious. So here is a story that binds me to my past, to my religion. I have been given a tradition, a culture. It's been handed down in a religious framework that I greatly appreciate, both an oral and a written tradition that I cherish. The essence of what's in my religion is also the essence of humanity. We have to try to make the world better. We will not necessarily achieve it, but we must try. I'm the founder of the Central Valley Holocaust Educators Network. This history opens window to every aspect of our lives. And I feel it is essential to know it. It is essential to try to understand it. And I feel it holds the answers to some of how we can achieve and appreciate what we have and what to avoid so that humanity can be free and just and understand our own biases, our own frailties. There isn't a thing in the world that touches each individual that is not illuminated by this history. So I teach it to teachers. I help children of survivors tell their parents' stories. I have created a resource library where people can access this history easily. And I offer workshops and help people come closer to this history and see how they can have an impact on the future. If I had a magic wand and change the world, I want people to see what unites us and mitigate what divides us and take every opportunity to do that.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Central Valley Holocaust Educator Network and Liz Igra, we would like to graciously accept the award on her behalf, and she's going to thank you herself on the screen.
Thank you to the Interfaith Council of Greater Sacramento for recognizing my work with the Central Valley Holocaust Educators Network. Particularly after the terrible news from Buffalo, New York, I am grateful to my fellow honorees and everyone involved in the Interfaith Council for helping to improve cross-community relations and resist division and hate. Thank you again.
Third, our honoree is our past president of the Interfaith Council of Sacramento, a dear friend of mine, the man we all love and know, ladies and gentlemen, Jon Fish.
I married my high school sweetheart. We have 5 children. We have 23 grandchildren and coming on 10 great-grandchildren. We've been married almost 55 years. She's the great love of my life. I got enlisted in Interfaith by going to a board meeting when they said we're going to make new officers now. So please vote, and turn the votes in, and we counted them, and I had been elected president of the board. I still don't know how that happened. But then we did that for almost 10 years, had a wonderful experience, made a ton of friends, learned an awful lot about other faiths, how other people worship, what they do, involved ourselves in lots of events. So it's just been a wonderful experience. The common thread in Interfaith is that we all have a book of Scripture. We all believe we're the child of God, We all believe in doing good, making society better and humanity better. And most of the religions have sacraments and those kinds of things that mean something real special to them, but could be called by a different name at a different faith. One of the things that unfolded while I was president was the shooting in Las Vegas. Rabbi Taff and I were talking about that, so we put a program together that very next night where people could come down to the synagogue, and we had a standing room only group of people, and we asked other faith leaders to speak and tell, just a rally for unity in the community. And I think we've already done 10 of those in 10 places of worship where we just needed to love each other and care about each other and be interested in each other and set aside any boundaries that might have been perceived. The interfaith overview and venue and people is extremely important in my opinion, because there is something always seeking us out. Right today, as we're filming this, we'd be talking about the war and the invasion in Ukraine and what can be done with refugees and with food closets and all those other sorts of things. Those kinds of things happen every day, every week, every month. They're just called by something different. And when the interfaith people can come together to help, it just magnifies that we are God-fearing people. If I could wave a magic wand on humanity, we would be kinder. We'd be quieter. We'd be gentler. All of the screaming and loudness and contention leads oftentimes to corruption. We don't need that. We just need kinder people. Everybody wants to be the emperor and nobody wants to be the servant. And I just think in the world we need lots of people who want to serve, who want to give of their time and their talents and their energies to uplift other people and to help other people. We all need to be helped. At some point in time, we all have need to be helped. And those that come to our aid are the kindly and the gentle and the sweet.
And to present this award, I ask Charles to come on the stage, please. Charles?
I'm quite honored to be up here to introduce Jon. The fact is probably most of you have lots of stories of Jon's work and his experience. I know him first through from the Interfaith Service Bureau, which was the previous name of our Interfaith Council of Greater Sacramento now. And actually, Jon passed out lots of Power One awards, right, over the years. He's been, many of you, several of you, no doubt, have received it from Jon under his tenure as the president at Interfaith. And he took the council through a lot of challenging times, especially finances. And some of you from the Interfaith Service Bureau Board remember these times, and we're involved in a lot of that. And I'm so grateful because of Jon's absolute commitment that this has to go forward. This cannot die. Especially it was RCC TV back then, now it's Sac Faith TV. It can't die. And his absolute commitment to seeing that happen. And the beautiful thing is that Jon always outreach to people. He visited so many different congregations and denominations, the in-person touch. Being there as a friend. And as Jon always says, when we know each other as friends, then you can't hate that other person. And Jon was the example of doing that. Going out and visiting people, showing up for the Sunday service, showing up for the worship event. Remember, we did so many events at Salam and many of the different communities. And so his outreach was only matched by his storytelling. So Jon always had a story that he could share that would like open up people's hearts. Just the real life experiences would open people's hearts and make it much easier to embrace, to work together, leaders in the community would often come to Jon because, I need some people in front of the cameras. So Jon would get on the phone. He would get them. He would get us there, right? For really so that the community, so that the world saw people of faith are committed to these issues. That people of faith care about what's happening. And bringing us together, bringing the community together, that's the vision and mission of the Interfaith Council, is that as a community, of a diverse community of faiths, that we can come together united in supporting that we are committed to a good, healing community and society. So even after Jon left the Interfaith Council, he still was active. Remember the Center for Interfaith Studies of America, right? And some of the meetings with Father Bonucci, I think. Just continuing with the commitment that the more we can understand and appreciate each other, then the easier it is for us to get along. Not that people need to change their religion, but by understanding and valuing and appreciating all the different traditions, then actually God can work. God can work in all of our communities and in all of our relationships. So I'm really grateful that I get to be the one up here to share this. Jon, even while very busy and interacting with all of the traditions, very active in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, still an active volunteer. He's got volunteering in his blood. And I really appreciate that. We've benefited a lot from that. And so with that, I just want you all to welcome Jon up. Let's give him a big hand, because all of you know him. Jon Fish. God bless you, Jon. Yeah, please.
Tell me you want a story.
I've got three and they're short. One is that I'm really thankful to be here. Since I left the Interfaith Council, I've taught 3 grandchildren how to drive. Second story is, when I was 7, my father was killed in an accident. And I sat on the front porch with my 2 older brothers and thought to myself, if I live to be 75 years old, it's going to be a long time before I see Dad again. In a couple of weeks, I began my 75th year. And he left about 2.5 months ago. That's just the way it's been. A third story I wanted to tell you was when Charles said visiting congregations. I think I've been to about 1,000 different meetings, not of my faith. Yep. And in an African American community in South Sacramento, in the middle of the service when they say stand up and greet your brother and sister around you, a little girl about 3, dressed to the nines, stood up on the bench and turned around and faced me and said, "Do you want to hug me?" And I said, "I do." And I looked at her mother. Her mother was, "That's okay, you can do that." And I hugged her. And then I said, "You're beautiful." And she said, "Oh, I know." I can't tell you what the pastor said that day, but I'm not going to forget her into the depths of eternity. I wanted to say quickly, too, that it's wonderful to be in a room with kind people. We're in too many gatherings these days with anger and hate and angst and discord. It's nice to be with the kind people. I'm also really glad to be with friends. If you have a friend, you're a rich man. If you have a lot of friends, you're extremely wealthy. And I'm grateful for friendship and grateful for each of you. Lots and lots of good friends. And then last of all, I have to remind you, we all live in the same house. We came through different doors. So, Serene and Akram, Carol, so many others, thank you very, very much. I'm thrilled to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this part where we recognize the three organizations in our community, it is an absolute honor for me to be presenting the Community Service Grant to three well-deserving organizations that have exemplified service to their diverse communities through numerous outreach channels. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start by recognizing the first recipient of the Community Service Grant, Al-Mizbah. Located in Elk Grove, Al-Mizbah began in 2014 as a youth group yearning to give back to the community. Now, Al-Mizbah has grown into a full-fledged charity organization and food bank that caters to the underserved populations across Northern California. The individual that leads this organization is Imam Yasser Khan. Imam Yasser led this Al-Mizbah's first distribution in 2014. That distribution served 10 families and was a result of collecting funds from a small group of people. Since then, Al-Mizbah has collaborated with organizations and members of the community and now serves over 1,200 families a month. You may assume that as a food bank, they only serve food to those families. This could not be further than the truth. This incredible organization serves to fill every need imaginable. They provide families with cleaning supplies, hygienic supplies, rent assistance, and furniture. Now, if that wasn't enough, Al-Mizbah also works to assist refugees in their resettlement. They help families with eviction prevention and are able to provide mobility to families through donated vehicles. Al-Mizbah has become a valued and trusted ally in refugee assistance and resettlement through the Northern California regions, as over 90% of the 1,200 families they serve every month are refugees. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Imam Yasser and Helena Silmi and on the stage, please. Imam Yasser and Helena.
I'm Elena Silmi. I'm the resource director at Al-Mizbah, and I just want to thank this amazing community. Honestly, we couldn't do any of this without our community support, everyone's support coming together, no matter what religion, race. It's all, everyone doing, this is all above us. We couldn't do it without everyone. So I just want to say thank you for giving us this amazing award. We're humbled. And let's continue to do good for our community. If we can't do it, who else is going to do it? Thank you.
Second on my list is World Relief. The organization comes alongside refugees and other immigrants in vulnerable situations as they build their lives in the United States. For more than 30 years, they have been welcoming immigrants and refugees across Sacramento. Beginning in 1989 with refugee resettlement, and in the past several years, broadening and deepening their services. Since 1989, World Relief Sacramento and partner churches have welcomed more than 30,000 refugees, and partner churches have welcomed in the Northern California. For decades, they have empowered churches, community organizations, and people like you to adapt to the challenge of the moment for the sake of the refugees. As needs have increased in recent years, they have expanded their work beyond refugees to include all immigrants in vulnerable situations. Today, World Relief Sacramento is part of a national network of offices through which more than 400,000 immigrants and refugees that have been welcomed to this country. I would like to call the representative from this organization to come on the stage, Megan Skurty.
I am so excited and humbled to be here as a representative of World Relief. As you may or may not know, we have some of the most diversity in this one relatively small in terms of large city. Our refugee population is outstanding, and it continues to grow. In Sacramento, our two largest populations are Slavic populations and Afghan populations. And there's some pretty, we can say, turbulence happening in Ukraine and in Afghanistan right now. So we are so excited to continue to offer really holistic services, everything from that initial resettlement all the way to free legal services for vulnerable immigrants and refugees. We all are really together. I love to be in my position and get to look out into audiences like this where we do all just want to support each other and find different ways to do that. So this is absolutely incredible. I thank you so much to Carol Lowe, who found us and reached out to us. And I had no idea that there was a coalition like this that existed. And what a beautiful thing to see people who come together with this core thing in mind. Let's support and let's love each other. And I'm so grateful for this. This will be amazing for us to continue our services. We have so many people. I remember the first family that we welcomed from the Ukraine during this crisis was a family of 6, and all they had, mom and dad both came with a backpack, and that was it. That's all they could get before they had to leave. And just thinking of, what that must feel like. Some of us have refugee and immigrant stories, and some of us have it in our family that's not very far off, So there's a lot of people that need this extra love and this extra support. So I encourage you, it sounds like we have a lot of people who are helping with refugees right now, as they should. These are people that are very under-resourced and under-supported. So thrilled to have your support now, and hopefully to use this as a platform to say, go out and support some refugee resettlement agencies, some other smaller nonprofits that are doing this work too, because we all could use the love, and our clients could use the love. So thank you so much for this.
The third organization we want to recognize is called Kellie's Cookies. At Kellie's Cookies, their goal is to reach out to the youth in our local region, with emphasis on ages 18 to 24. They offer a mentorship program combined with employment opportunities and provide a job, training, and work experience in many areas. Their mission is to mentor, employ, and inspire foster and at-risk youth in the greater Placer and Sacramento regions, empowering them to achieve independence as well as financial and social prosperity. I'd like to call a representative from the Kellie's Cookies to come on the stage, please. Ken Lomax.
Kellie promised me I wouldn't have to talk, but it's really tough for me to come to one of these and not talk. I want to just tell you a little bit about Kellie. She's always had a passion for cooking, for baking. In addition to her love for baking, Kellie has a huge heart for helping children, as you're going to hear about, especially those who come from broken homes or challenging circumstances. As a past mentor with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, Kellie witnessed firsthand the positive effects that mentoring a child can have on that child. Recently, Kellie opened her heart and her home to a young adult who had aged out of the foster care program. Through this experience, Kellie gained a lot of insight into the struggles that youth face every day. Every day, kids are aging out of foster care. They hit 18, and you're done. You're on your own. After operating a bakery for over 19 years, she decided to continue her passion and create an organization to mentor, employ, and empower at-risk youth, including aged out in foster care. On behalf of Kellie's Cookies, I want to thank you. You don't, excuse me, you don't know how many kids this is going to help. Thank you so much.
But before I ask Charles to come and do the closing prayers, I'd like to recognize actually Carol. You've done an amazing job presenting this. Please stand up. She put in so much hard work organizing this event. Carol, we appreciate you, so thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, I also like to thank our behind-the-scene people who never seen or recognizes Owen and Ron, who's done an amazing job on video and audio-visual. Thank you, guys. And I'd like to thank the Interfaith Council board members for each and every one of you who've done so amazing job bringing faith communities together, building bridges among faith communities. So thank you, each and every one of you. Thank you.
I'm going to interject here. I'm Sylvia Villalobos, along with TJ David, and we're the founders of International World Peace Rose Gardens, and we're providing the roses tonight. And many of you know that we created the World Peace Rose Garden at the state capitol, and it's probably the only state capitol in the world that is dedicated to world peace. Plus we have 9 others throughout the world: China, India, Mexico, all over. But anyway, so these roses are special. They're created for world peace. And these last 2 vases, I really would like to give one to Serene. And we gave one to Carol. And the last one to Igra.
Thank you for coming and sharing this very special occasion. It's just a labor of love, and through working on this project, I made many more friends. I'm a SMUD friend. Phil's already my friend. John I adore. There's just so much joy in doing this work, and as I always tell everyone, we all came from the same place. And when we cut our finger, we all bleed red. So please be kind and loving to everyone and find out what they're about before you decide to make a judgment. Thank you for joining us tonight.
So let's give a thank you to all the faith leaders here. Yes? So we hope you've been blessed tonight. Have you been blessed? Yes! Do you have hope? Yes! It's a time of inspiration, right? Yes! There's so much bad news, but we've got some good news tonight. Yeah, we do! Yes! Okay, so please, everyone, if you join me in prayer. Actually, everyone please stand up. Let's let God know we're here. Yes. Yes. Ah, good. Sister Hansa. Yes. Welcome. Okay, please join me in prayer. Dear God, thank you so much for your loving compassion, for your care, for your fatherly love that guides us, for your motherly love that embraces us, for the vision that you have for a world of true, your children, one family under you. We're so grateful for what we could see tonight and pray that you found joy in the interactions, in the fellowship that happened tonight, but especially to see these people committed to bringing your goodness, your healing, your kindness to the world, and especially here in our Sacramento community. We want to offer up to you that you can find joy and comfort in seeing these people of dedication and devotion, and that we ourselves also can be people that can multiply that goodness, multiply your healing in this world, in this environment around us. So we thank you together as your precious, loving children, sons and daughters, as brothers and sisters. We pray this together. Amen. Amen. God bless you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, wait.
Leaving us.
Thank you, everyone.